All right, everybody, ready to really get into it? Let's deep dive into how to become a commodity broker. We're talking interview prep, and we've got some amazing RoleCatcher resources to help us out today.
You know, it's interesting. When most people think about this career, they think numbers and charts, right?
Makes sense, right?
But it's really so much more than that. It's about understanding the market, yeah. But more importantly, it's about the people. You got to build those relationships. It's about having that gut feeling, to make the big winning deals.
And you know what? RoleCatcher actually says something similar in their career guide. They call it being a connector, which I love. Sounds simple, but when you think about it, you're literally the bridge between supply and demand for everything. You're making things happen on a global scale.
And that's exactly what those hiring managers are looking for. They need someone who can crunch the numbers, obviously, but someone who can build those relationships with clients, that trust, someone who's in it for the long haul.
Okay, so how do you actually show them that you can do all of that in an interview? Well, let's look at some questions that RoleCatcher says are likely to come up. Okay, first up, a classic. What inspired you to pursue a career as a commodity broker? Now, I know we're all tempted to just say something like, I like numbers.
Yeah, you're right. We all do.
But we've got to go deeper than that.
Yeah, you've got to. Think about your why. What's your story? What is it that grew you to this world? Was it the global impact commodities have? Or maybe someone had some personal experience. Whatever it is, that's what you share. And of course, weave in what you know about what a broker actually does. You connect buyers and sellers, negotiate, analyze trends, right? That kind of stuff shows them you get the bigger picture.
And this is actually where the tech from RoleCatcher can really help out. You can actually put your answer into their system, and it will analyze it for you. It gives you feedback on how well you're communicating those key points.
Oh, I love that. Like having a personalized coach in your pocket.
Exactly. Okay, next question. And I feel like this one is so important in basically any career these days. How do you stay up to date with market trends and news? This one's all about showing them that you're committed to learning, because this industry, man, it changes so fast.
So fast.
What are your go-to resources? Favorite financial websites, publications, podcasts even?
Yeah, be specific. Don't just say, oh, I read the Wall Street Journal. Tell them what you read in it, what you listen to. Show them you're really engaging with the information and not just passively consuming it.
Exactly. And even better, if any of those resources helped you form an opinion on a recent market event, tell them about it. It shows you're not just reading headlines, you're thinking critically about what you're learning.
I like it. All right, let's talk tech. Can you describe your experience with commodity trading software? Pretty straightforward, right? They want to know you're comfortable with the tools.
This is your time to shine. Talk about those trading platforms, the market analysis tools. And I know it's tempting to just rattle off names, but don't just name them.
No. Tell them how you've actually used those tools. Did you use a certain software to analyze, say, market trends for a school project? Maybe you've used trading simulations. Give them concrete examples.
And don't freak out if they mention a specific software you haven't used.
Yeah, it happens.
It's totally fine to say you're eager to learn new tools. In fact, RoleCatcher actually specifically calls out adaptability as a key skill for brokers, so that's great.
Being able to adapt to new tech and those changing market dynamics, it's so important for a long-term career. Speaking of adapting, next up, how do you manage risk in your commodity trading strategy? This one is huge E.
You got to show them you have a plan, that you're not just blindly making trades and hoping for the best. Tell them about your system for navigating the ups and downs of the market.
Think about a time you had to make a decision where there were risks and rewards and you had to think it through.
It doesn't even have to be about trading. Maybe it was a personal investment you made, or maybe a group project where you had to make a strategic call. Whatever it is, break down your thought process for them. Show them you can analyze the situation, come up with a plan, and then take action. And you know what? RoleCatcher actually has some really good advice on how to structure your answer. They call it the STAR method.
I've heard of that.
So you describe the situation, explain the task you had, what action you took, and then the final result.
It's such a good way to keep your answers concise and impactful.
For real. And I think we're ready for a bit of a curveball here.
Yeah.
Can you describe a time when you had to navigate a difficult client situation? Okay, before we all launch into that story about the, difficult customer at our summer job.
Remember, this question isn't about throwing anyone under the bus. It's about showing them your people skills. Can you stay calm under pressure? Can you problem solve when things get tough? That's what they want to know.
Exactly. So think about a time you maybe had to, manage expectations, handle a disagreement, or even just, find common ground with someone when things were a little tense. Doesn't have to be a client, really. It's all
Yeah.
about showing them how you communicate and how you solve problems.
And the STAR method works here too, right?
Absolutely.
Situation, task, action, result. Keeps everything nice and organized. Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about client relationships, building them, maintaining them. Because let's be real, this field is about people just as much as it is about, the actual commodities.
Couldn't agree more. You become a trusted advisor, someone they can rely on.
Right, like think about a time you really had to listen to someone, understand where they were coming from, and actually find a way to connect with them on a deeper level. Share those stories, those examples of how you've gone above and beyond for a client, a colleague, whatever. Did you anticipate what they needed? Find a creative solution to a problem. The details are what make it real for them.
So true. Okay, ready for it? Here's a tough one. Can you describe a time when you had to make a difficult trading decision? And this is where you get to talk about your analytical skills, how you think about risk management, all of that.
They want to hear about your judgment. Think about a time you had to make a call. Maybe you didn't have all the information even, but you had to weigh the options and just, go for it.
And again, this doesn't have to be about like actual trading. Maybe you were on a team project and had to make a tough decision about, I don't know, the direction you were going in, or maybe even just in your personal life, you had to choose between a couple of paths and it was really tricky. Whatever it is, walk them through how you thought it through. Show them you don't just jump into things without thinking.
Exactly. What were the factors you considered? How did you try to minimize the risk? And even if the outcome wasn't perfect, talk about what you learned from it. That's valuable to them.
Oh, for sure. Okay, and speaking of learning, next question. How do you stay motivated and engaged in your work as a commodity broker? This one feels kind of personal, right?
It is, and that's a good thing. Let your enthusiasm show. What is it about this world, about the markets, that really excites you? They want to hear about your passion for this.
Yeah, don't be afraid to geek out a little. Is there a certain market trend you find super interesting? A particular commodity you've been following? Those details, they show you're really into it.
Passion is contagious. Okay, let's see. Last question I have here, and it's another big one. Can you describe a time when you had to adapt to a change in market conditions? Because things change fast.
All the time, right? New regulations pop up, unexpected global events, trends change overnight.
Exactly. So think about a time where, you had a plan, but then something happened and you had to completely switch gears.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be about, like, the stock market or anything. Maybe a project at school or work suddenly changed direction. Or you had to deal with some unexpected drama in a team setting.
How did you roll with it? What did you do to adapt your approach? How did you overcome that challenge?
Because at the end of the day, it's not about pretending you never make mistakes. It's about showing them that you can learn from them and bounce back stronger.
And that's what they want to see. They want someone who's not only capable, but also self-aware and always striving to improve. And you know what? That actually reminds me of another thing I love about RoleCatcher. Their AI feedback. It's like gold.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about it a little bit throughout this, but tell me more.
It's like having a coach in your back pocket who can analyze every word.
Yeah.
They can help you find places where, maybe your answers could be stronger, or you could use more impactful language.
It's all about making sure you're showcasing the right skills.
Right.
The stuff that really matters for this specific job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about what you've done, it's about the takeaway. Look, what did you learn from those challenges, those tough calls, the moments where you had to adapt?
The so what? I like it.
That's what really makes your answers stick with them. It shows you're not just listing experiences, you're a learner, you're growing, you're always trying to get better. That's huge.
It's about the growth mindset, right? And hey, isn't that what we're all about here at the Deep Dive? Always be learning.
100%. And that's something else RoleCatcher really stresses in their materials, how important it is to keep learning and growing in this field. Their career path tool, so cool, it actually lays out potential paths your career could take.
That's awesome. So you can kind of see where this could all lead, what skills you might need to get there.
Exactly. Okay, but here's my final thought for you today. Remember that question about making the tough trading decisions? Go back to those situations in your head, but this time, think about what happened after you made the call.
I like where you're going to this.
Did it open up new doors you didn't expect? Did you have to go back and rethink your strategy because of it? Or maybe did it push you to learn something new? How did those decisions, those moments, shape you into the commodity broker you want to be?
Because that's the good stuff. It's not just about the wins, it's about the times you stumbled and what you learned from it. Those are the stories that make you stand out.
Own your journey. Show them you're all about growth and you're not just ready for the challenges, but you're actually excited about them.
Love it. And on that note, future commodity brokers, we want to wish you all the very best of luck in your interview process. You got this.
You've put in the work, you've got the knowledge, and with RoleCatcher in your corner, you'll be amazing. And hey, once you land that dream job, come tell us all about it, okay?
Yes, we love a good success story.
Until then, keep learning, keep exploring that amazing world of commodities. It's a wild ride.
Happy trading, everyone. That's it for us here at The Deep Dive. Catch you all next time.